So, welcome, folks, to this episode of the Rumble. I have a guest with me for a change. I could say somebody not from Chennai. He's from Coimbatore. Though Coimbatore people think that they're more important than Chennai in any case, and why? Because of the racing enthusiasts who live in that city. So, I have Rajiv with me, who's the owner of this team out of Coimbatore. So, welcome to the show, Rajiv.
Hi.
So tell me straight away about Tiger Sport, that really intriguing logo that you have on your shirt.
We are a racing team based out of Coimbatore. We take part in the National Racing Championship in the Indian Touring Car category.
What is a touring car? Just a sedan?
Yes, your regular sedan car that you drive to the office.
Which you modify?
It's completely modified.
Okay, so what when you look at it from outside, can you make out that's a racing car and that's a normal street car?
Yes, you can. You can see the racing seat, the roll cage.
Oh, so it's visible for
yes.
Do people ever use these things on streets?
It's not advisable that you drive them on the street because they have racing suspension.
Okay,
it's very stiff.
It's designed to be stiff.
Yes.
Why is that?
So you can corner better at a faster speed.
Okay, well the softer ones.
You can't corner. The car tends to lean.
Okay. And does it throw you off? Does it roll? Does it prevent? You can go faster on the bends?
You can go fast on the corner.
Okay. So when you say a touring car, so you picked a car yourself or somebody came and gave you a car?
We chose the Honda City.
All right.
Because we thought the Honda was a challenge. It had not been done successfully before.
Anywhere?
Only in India.
In India, okay.
It's very commonly modified.
So it's just an assembly line car that you take it off this?
Yes.
Okay. And then you'd work on it?
Yes. We modify the engine, the gearbox, the ECU. Modify everything.
So you have a huge technical team?
It's all done in-house. We are a small team, but everything done in-house.
So what exactly goes in for modification?
The engine is stripped out.
Okay.
We custom make the pistons. The internals are completely changed.
All right.
Then we take the gearbox out.
Okay.
We gear the car in such a way that the driver uses up all the 5 gears within the maximum speed of the track. So if the track speed is 200,
how does that work? Who works out track speed? Isn't that how fast you're driving or is there something more?
We assume a certain speed.
Okay.
And then the driver should finish up all the 5 gears within that.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Okay.
He reaches 200 faster.
Okay. And it's completely different from the normal gearing?
Yes. It's called a close ratio gearbox.
Okay. But it's manual. There's no buttons being pressed and stuff.
Not in our car. But in the other race cars like the Volkswagen Polo, it's what they call as a paddle shift.
So that is also being used in racing?
Yes, in the Polo R car.
Okay, so how many production line cars are there in this form of racing?
We have various categories of racing like the touring car, the unmodified class, the super stock.
Okay.
They have the Polo R Cup. Then they have the single seaters.
All right. That's the one we see that looks like a Formula car,
yes.
Slightly modified kind of. So are they anything like the ones running on F1 and F2 as we see on television?
These are F3 cars.
Okay. What's the difference apart from the number?
The specification, the engine size, chassis design.
So who does that modification specifications?
The person running the team, he buys the car from the manufacturer.
All right.
For example, JA Motorsport, they buy the car from Dallara and they run the cars.
Okay.
It's all up to FIA specification.
So there is a body on top which is actually laying down these specs?
Motorsport.
There are.
And the governs the specification.
And so that's what's the name of that body?
FIA.
FIA. And is it elected, opposed, elected or appointed?
Democratic
it is a democratic body? Okay, because we've heard enough about what's going on with the board of control for cricket in India, which is so blatantly control based, because the word control is in the title, but yours is not that. It's
the FIA controls motorsport worldwide, and the FMSCI controls motorsport in India.
So you're almost a quasi-government body, or do you have the blessings of
FMSCI is recognized by the
Sports
government.
Authority has anything in it?
FMSCI is recognized by the government of India.
Okay. And why on earth did Coimbatore become a center for racing? I know it is a center.
It's because the engineering industries that we have, and a lot of youngsters took to it because we didn't have anything much to do socially in the earlier days.
Okay, you had Ooty up, a short drive up the hills.
Walk on the car and drive up to Ooty.
Drive up to Ooty. And so was that ever part of the basic driver's qualifications? get up to Ooty in
the quickest time.
Yeah.
We can't do it anymore.
You could at one time? Did you ever attempt it?
Yes.
You did. What was the fastest you went up to Ooty from Coimbatore or wherever?
I think it's about an hour and 10 minutes.
That's from Coimbatore city all the way to the top. So today, would it be possible to do it? Is it because the government doesn't allow, or the roads have become impossible?
A lot of traffic's not safe.
Okay, so it was possible at one time, but inadvisable today.
Yes, not advisable at all.
So that's probably why this... and of course, there's a gentleman who passed away from Coimbatore, was a very senior racer. I remember hearing about
Mr. Karivardhan,
Correct,
it was very
Karivardhan.
unfortunate that he passed away in...
Was it on a racing accident?
No, it was in a plane crash.
In a plane crash.
Big loss to the motorsport community.
What was his position within the driving fraternity?
He was a great driver. He was an automobile engineer. He was like a father figure to a lot of people. He guided everybody, helped everybody. In fact, we run his car, a caricature of his car on our race car.
Even now.
And all our race car doors have dedicated to the memory of Curry on the door and on the
like what?
door panel.
You have something written there on it?
Yeah.
Or is it a symbol?
We've got a sticker there.
Yeah. Okay. So I also know that racing, unlike what a lot of people think, also requires a lot of physical fitness, which is something that we didn't really think about. So when we come back, I'll just find out what has physical fitness and automobile racing got to do with each other. So as we were talking, this physical fitness part of it, what has that got to do with sitting behind the wheel of a car? I see fat people driving cars, so now you're talking about fitness.
The driver's like an athlete in any other sport. He's got to be extremely fit.
Why is that? I mean, what does he do
faces a
other
lot
than
of
turn the wheel
G-forces
around?
on the turns.
Okay.
With the limited slip differential, he's got a very heavy load on his hands.
Okay.
So fitness is a key, and you lose a lot of water during the race.
Oh, yeah. Is it like they say you lose weight by the time you finish one?
Yes. Not very much in our category, but at least in F1 they do.
They do lose.
But fitness is very important.
Which part of the body is bearing all that weight or the tension?
A lot of it is on the arms, the neck, shoulders.
Yeah, you were telling me something about Schumacher before we came in. What was that about him walking around?
Yeah, he had a way of strengthening his neck muscles. He used to wear his helmet and walk around in the house.
Yeah, there's a special helmet that they don't weigh a lot.
Your F1 helmet, what he used.
So he's sort of
you strengthen the neck muscles, yeah.
So when you get into racing, at what age do parents have to watch out for their son starting to overspeed and have dreams of becoming a race driver?
If somebody wants to get into racing, the correct way to do it is to go into go-karting.
Okay.
And have a very good driver coach them. That's the way to
get in. Do they exist in Madras or Coimbatore?
Yes, they do.
They do. I mean, people actually go and sign up with somebody who's a whiz.
With the team.
Yes.
And they get coached into go-karting. They start with go-karting.
Why is that? It's just because it's cheap and you can crash and nothing happens?
The cars are small.
Okay, manageable.
Speeds are less.
Okay. So what does it cost?
Start young.
What does it cost for a youngster to just start go-karting? I mean, they see it, they look at it on television, but they've probably never seen it.
You're referring to a season or to?
I don't know, just to get around and get into one of those things and drive in a circuit.
Okay. I think it costs about 45,000 rupees for a 3-day session is what they charge.
Okay.
For coaching. And then if you're good enough, I think you can get and drive a season.
Just from that, just driving the go-kart cost you 45,000 rupees for 3 days?
Just for the training.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a serious business. Yeah. It's not just like getting on a cycle and...
And that's just the fees, not your logistics.
As in? Wasn't that all come within 45,000? No. What about your racing, your outfit or your suit?
All the racing suits are FIA approved.
Okay. Which means what? For
and
fire?
And the helmets, yes. Fire protection.
Okay.
And they have a life.
All right. So this 45,000 comes with the suit?
Not at all. For the training. Yeah.
So what does the suit cost?
It's about 30,000.
I'm just wondering, hey, your fathers out there listening to this, just say this guy's going to encourage my son to go racing, he's going to blow a packet. So easily 100,000 rupees.
Well, if somebody is going to, the first thing I tell somebody when they want to go, when the kids come and say, I want to go racing, I'll say, no, don't go.
Oh, that's strange coming from a motor racing team owner.
I said, don't go because it's expensive.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. And as you progress up the ladder, does it get
more and more expensive? Yes.
So where is the money in the sport? Who is getting the money in the sport?
The money you have to obtain on sponsorship.
That's the
what
only
we
route.
intend to be. Yes.
Okay.
And you need to leverage your engineering abilities of the team and do some work and get additional money.
Okay, explain that. I didn't understand.
For example, we specialize in something. We specialize in building a gearbox.
All right.
Right. So we can build gearboxes for other teams, for other street cars.
Oh, that as a team you can talk about that. But as a guy getting into racing, thinking that I'm going to be a Schumacher and make $100 million before I retire, where is his money coming from?
On his driver's fees, but that's only after some time. Only the top guys make that.
And so the vast majority of guys driving
The
around
money
the
goes
track,
from their pocket.
so it's Pop's
Yes.
savings just leaking out as he's driving.
Yes.
So what would it cost him before he can get to a place where he can start to be competitive and start to earn money?
Are you talking national racing? Or?
Yeah, I mean anywhere, national. I don't care where you race, as long as the money comes in at some point. To get to that point, how much would you have to?
I think you'll have to spend at least about 10 to 15 lakhs.
10 to 15 lakhs. Okay, that's better. It's like getting yourself a dentist degree
But at that time,
or a
it's like
doctor's degree.
it's like doing a good CV. You have to do a very good presentation.
As in? Presentation as in?
To the sponsors.
Okay.
You have to you make your pitch
Okay.
so that you merit sponsorship. You have to market yourself very well.
Oh, okay. So it's like getting yourself a degree from that kind of money.
Yes, it's like getting yourself a good job.
Yeah, but then how many racers are there at any given time actually active in the circuit?
See, there are about 200 drivers.
Oh, there are 200 of them, and they get known by the fans or only by the associations. They are keeping track of these guys. Because I don't know too many names in our country. I know we heard of Chandok, we heard of Sureshwaran, and maybe a couple of other names. But who knows these people? Is it a big sport in India?
That's the problem because drivers don't market themselves very well.
Ah, okay.
Okay, they don't give.
They need to be
You can't
seen-
just go to somebody and say, "Please give me your money." You have to go and say, "Listen, I will be your brand ambassador.
All right.
Use me for this. Use my race car for your promotion."
I have a Miss India for a girlfriend, so
Yes.
she adds value
Yes.
to him.
Yes.
So all that is what
It's
needs to
the
be
big
done.
picture.
Yeah.
It's a very glamorous sport,
Yes.
but
Yes.
unfortunately, they don't pitch it the right way to the sponsor.
Okay. But at the same time, I'm seeing absurdly young kids. I mean, 16-year-old, 15-year-old. I'm sure you can't get into glamour at that age. But they start at that low an age, 15,
Yes.
16. Can they reach the upper levels within, let's say, a year?
Well, they can,
They can.
but they have to be extremely fit
Okay. And
and
as
they
you
have to
said,
have the money.
that's it. Finally, it's going to come down
You have
to
to have a good car.
All right.
Unless you take part in a one-make series
Hmm.
where the cars are equal.
Okay. So with this, what we've been talking about is this kind of racing, which is like production line cars. Now we'll talk a little bit about the other monsters we hear and watch on TV. So talking about the F1 thing, which is the mecca of racing, and everybody wants to get into that lot. What exactly does it do for the sport? I mean, when you say it's a sport, people are still not very sure. Is that a sport? It's like Abhinav Bindra winning the gold in the Olympics for shooting. And a lot of people say, what the hell? He took a gun, and if the gun was wonky, he wouldn't have shot anyway. So in driving, a lot seems to be on the vehicle. So where is the sport in it?
The drivers have to be very fit because of the G-forces that they...
Do you think you'll be more tough than a Sukhoi fighter plane pilot?
Not that much G's, but a fair bit of G's.
Okay, so you're getting high G's in a vehicle on the ground.
Yes.
So to that extent, you have to be fit.
Yes.
But anything beyond that makes it a true sport, or is it just your need for speed?
No, you have to be extremely fit because you lose a lot of water. You're working at a very high temperature.
Yeah.
And you have to perform your best.
Okay.
And you're fighting for a second.
But there's so many mechanical parts that can let you down. So
Yes.
it's not you alone.
Yes.
Some little nut flies
It's
off.
the whole team.
Okay, so I guess that's why in racing on television you find the guys inside the control room where they're watching the stuff on TV. They seem to be more celebratory than the actual driver. He seems to say, "Yeah, thank God I managed to finish the course."
It's their strategy that is very important. They have to have strategies for everything.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear the commentators, you think there is something much more than what we're seeing. So that all that stuff, the average man in India, I don't think has any clue. What is the strategy behind, going into the pit lane or changing something or the other? Or is that part of elaborately worked out?
Yes, you had to have a tire strategy, you had to have a fuel strategy, how you're going to conserve
Does
your
it
car.
happen even in the kind of racing you're doing in Coimbatore?
No, for us, we don't come into the pits because we have, say, 10 or 15 laps and we're done. But we have to have a strategy for everything.
Yes.
Tire, how much fuel load you run.
Okay.
How are you going to conserve
And
the
as your
resources of
fuel
the
comes
car.
down, does it really take off faster? As it's just a weight
No,
loss?
it's very dangerous when your fuel comes down because you end up with something called a fuel slosh, where if there is fuel starvation
Sloshing,
for your engine,
okay.
your engine will blow. Your engine definitely will blow.
So who keeps track of all that? I mean, do you have all these, what do they call that, monitoring it in
We have data that we continuously log and monitor.
It's coming over the
and
wireless?
we keep fine-tuning. No, we're not, as per our regulations, we're not allowed communication.
What's the sense in that?
It's the federation. I mean, they
Nothing to do with
set down
safety
the
or anything.
guidelines,
Okay.
and we have to respect that.
So Tiger Sports, where do you see yourself going from this year onwards? Or what is your game plan for building a brand or building your
We've
team?
always wanted to work with the manufacturer, so we work with Volkswagen this year.
Okay. And you switch brands?
No, right now as long as Volkswagen will have us, we'll keep Volkswagen.
So what does Volkswagen do for you? Give you the
They've
cars.
given us the car, they've given us the bits, they support us.
Okay, giving you the car is
technical
a matter
support.
of money. It's nothing more than that. Does Volkswagen get involved in any way?
Yes, they give us the technical support.
They do?
Yes.
So like when you want something modified, they modify it for you?
Yes.
Or you have to do it in your plant or whatever, your workshop?
If we can modify, we do. But in case we require technical support, we get in touch with them.
And is Coimbatore capable of supporting a whole team of people living there throughout the year, or they just flock there when the season's on?
Coimbatore is capable of supporting.
It does have...
But our season's only 6 months in a year.
That's a long season.
Yes.
So which time of the year is that?
The second half.
Why is that you skip the first half?
We work on the cars.
Oh, okay.
First half,
what's the season like?
sponsorship.
The typical financial season, March to April 1st? Or
It's
is it
June to November.
The accounting year is your racing year.
When everybody is done with the financial year and they're ready with the budget.
That's the time when you go in there. And how's the state of sponsorship? Are people keen on backing racing?
No, it's a very hard sell.
It is.
It's a very, very hard sell.
Is it because of the limited eyeballs?
No, I blame us because I think we have to sell our value add harder to the sponsors. So use my car as a brand ambassador, use my driver as a brand ambassador.
Okay.
And then we give you that much value in return.
Go into the smaller towns to let people hands-on what the car looks
exactly. Like we've had this case study of a finance company.
Okay.
They took the race car to one of the branches.
All right.
And because of that, the footfalls in the branch actually increased.
I'm sure it's
So
intriguing.
the advantage with the race car as against a celebrity is that you can take the race car to the smallest of villages and towns.
And
You don't have a schedule problem.
That's true.
Okay. And you can still get people to come.
And you don't have to worry about
look at
building
it.
clean toilets for them. And
the race car picture is something that is very widely circulated on the social media.
Oh, it is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is still hope for a lot more brands like yours to come up.
Yes, I'd like to pitch a lot of value addition to the sponsor before I ask for their money. I just don't want to say, no, I'm a racing team, give me sponsorship. No.
And you will only stick to brands which are associated with motorsports and motor cars?
Well,
or do you think other brands can come in?
Wherever the sponsor feels that he can leverage my brand to increase his sale.
Like I heard that, the Delhi manufacturers of those snacks, what they were, Haldirams, they were at one time contemplating putting their logos on the F2 cars because they were running in Europe and they felt a car running by with this strange thing on it might at least intrigue a few people.
Haldiram snacks are very popular in Europe.
Yeah, so maybe
it makes sense for them to fit that sponsorship in their media plan.
Yeah, so it's not only the Elves and the Renault and all the regular brands. They're
Can
all
be anybody, yes.
Could be, they haven't sought for it yet. So, thanks for coming, Rajiv.
Thank you.
I hope that you go and bust those big numbers and get some big sponsors too. That's where the fun is. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Oh, yes, and one more thing. I've said goodbye to him and all that, but he wants to say one more important message to all you people out there. So, there you are. Go ahead.
We don't want kids racing on the street. Come to the racetrack. You've got your car with a roll cage. You've got your helmet. You've got your safety belt. You're much safer there. So come to the racetrack and race. Please don't race on the street.
All right, that's it from him. Thank you.